Smack. Welcome to Super Smack.
Super Smack in the house.
The Super Rugby podcast from the fans, for the fans.
It's all about the Super Rugby, and this week it is round 9.
Yeah, pretty shitty round, wasn't it?
Well, it was. Yeah. The Germans say 9.
That means no, right?
No, that means 9. 9 means...
Oh, round 9.
Weirdly, 9 means no.
No, yeah.
And 9
9
means 9. It's
Okay.
very...
The end of round 9.
You could do that as a vocal warm-up.
The 10th.
9 means 9. 9 means
cricket,
no. And
critic. A big black bug, but a big blue bear, and the big blue bear, bit of blood.
Unique New York. New York's unique. I love unique New York.
Wet leather, never weathered, wetter weather, better.
Red, yellow, red. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Blah, blah, blah.
Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Yeah, red lorry. Lorry, round 9. Sorry, we just got a bit off
Is that
topic there.
You did that at drama school, that stuff, eh?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? I do it every night before our podcast. Do you not?
Oh, no, I don't need
do
to
it.
warm up.
I sit in the car and I just go, me, 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 me. And then I smoke a blunt.
Oh,
No,
God. Yeah, I was
I
wondering why your eyes were so bloodshot.
Are they actually bloodshot? Because
Yeah,
I've
mate,
got that.
They're red.
I've got
you
that.
look like Towley from South Park.
I've got that 3 times this weekend. Liv was like, "Why are your eyes so red?" And then another friend of ours was like, "You've been out on the booze too much." And now I'm kind of going.
Who's saying you go on the booze too
Oh,
much?
just Dan
It's a bit
Lavender.
rude. Dad Lavender.
Yeah, Dan Lavender. Liv's flatmate.
He sounds like he's on the booze too.
Oh, he is on the booze, mate. He'll be drinking a bottle a night. Dan, if you're listening, sorry, I've just outed you, but
That's
everybody knows that you love to drink.
Pot calling the kettle, isn't it?
It is. Pot calling the kettle
black.
Pot calling the kettle Merlot.
Oh.
He actually loves a Malbec.
Those
hey,
in glass
we're getting
houses shouldn't throw stones.
That's
Shouldn't
right.
throw Malbec bottles.
Oh, definitely not. To be honest, if we were both in a glass house, I'd rather that you threw a stone at me than a bottle of Malbec. I'd be like, hey mate, that's
Just
fucked
chill
up.
out. Not only is that disrespectful to me, but also to the viticulturalists.
It's also just a waste of good wine.
Yeah, good wine, exactly. Is a Malbec a good wine? It's quite a deep
No,
red, isn't it?
Malbec's lovely. You've obviously got to get a good Malbec.
I'm into the lighter reds myself.
Yeah, well, you would be.
Yeah, I like a
You
Pinot.
probably had a few good ones last night, didn't you, at that party?
Yes, went to a lovely wine party. Yeah, it was good. Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah,
A little bit carried
other than
away.
our booze issues, we have been watching the Super Rugby, and you're right. It was a weird round.
Yeah,
Some weird.
you know what?
Well, some predictable
I've got
things.
a theory, mate.
Okay, what's
Sorry,
your
I
theory?
don't mean to interrupt. I really jumped over you there.
It doesn't matter, mate.
It's time for some weird stuff this weekend because the full moon was out.
When was it a full moon? On Saturday or something?
Probably Friday.
Oh.
Because that's when the weirdest
Well,
stuff
that'll be
happened
why
for
the
him.
Hurricanes
And
lost to the
Chiefs.
Crusaders.
Yeah, and the Chiefs lost to the Waratahs. Yeah, it's just a full moon issue.
So that shouldn't. What we're saying, or what you're saying, is that shouldn't have happened. Like we shouldn't have lost the Crusaders.
Definitely
I'm glad
not.
you agree with me on
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I
Yeah.
did say differently last week.
You did.
I'm talking more about the Chiefs game if I'm honest.
Yeah, and do you know what? We're both. Well, are we both surprised? Yeah. The Chiefs shouldn't have lost that game, and like you said earlier, they did lose it. It wasn't just the Waratahs playing out
Yeah,
of
the
this game.
Waratahs played well. There's no denying that. But also, we had our chances to win it
Yeah,
still.
and-
And people are talking. I mean, it's reported like it's a massive, big upset waste.
Well, mate, it is an
They
upset.
didn't paste us,
They
man.
didn't paste you, but it is an upset. You
Yeah,
shouldn't
sure.
be losing to a team that just got pasted to on the trot in New Zealand. But because of that, that's played against you. They were hurting. They were back at home where they haven't lost all season, and that really played in their favour because they ran rings around you at times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a pasting because they're the Waratahs. They were never going to waste you. But unfortunately, some certain players in your team did have a shocker of a game.
Yeah, I mean, yes, D-Mac,
Yes.
he wasn't up to his usual high standard.
Well, he wasn't just up to his usual standard, mate. He was piss poor.
Well, I like you. I like that you say that.
Well, do you?
I think he was piss poor in comparison to his normal standards.
Oh, I don't know, mate. He
think-
was piss poor by any standard.
He dropped
of
the ball a couple of times.
And he just, they made life hard for him. Things weren't going his way. And I've got a theory
He
on
was
that.
under pressure.
I think he'd been out, mate.
You reckon?
I reckon he'd been out down at like Beach Road Hotel, Bondi.
Yeah, down Coogee Pavilion.
Yeah, Coogee Pavilion.
Yeah.
I reckon he's got a couple of Sydney mates.
He
and
must
they were
do.
like, hey, mate, can you catch up Thursday? Like, I know you're in town. Can we just get together Thursday because we can't do Saturday anymore?
Hey, bro,
'Cause
I
the
reckon
wife's
you
got
could get us a real good table on the balcony at Coogee Pavilion.
Yeah.
Because you're like an All Black in
Yeah.
that.
So he gets a table at Coogee Pavilion. This is all hypothetical, by the way. Probably.
It's probable.
And he downs like a few margaritas and he gets a bit silly.
Yeah, and he goes to leave, right?
Goes to sleep and they're like, just one more. And then he just doesn't realize the time. He doesn't get enough sleep. He wakes up slightly late, as we know D-Mac is wont to do from previous.
I think he wakes up with his town clothes on and missing one of his dress shoes.
You think he left one shoe at the pavilion?
Yeah. And he's woken up the wrong way around on his bed.
Some girl's got it back at her apartment. D-Mac. Oh, where for art thou, D-Mac? Oh, I love you. She'll be looking for him now. He's probably on a flight back.
You reckon? Yeah, he will be,
NZ 425.
Yep. Lands at 9:15.
So if you want to ask him what he's been up to. But I mean, no, he was off and... I don't think it was, a lot of people were saying it was because he was at 15, but that's just bullshit because he's played some fantastic games at 15.
Had a bad game.
He had a bad game. Things didn't go his way, and the Chiefs, interestingly, fell apart because of it. And so I guess that's,
he wasn't
slightly
the only
worrying.
one, mate. Like, he wasn't the only one. And I've got another theory here,
So
too.
they all sucked?
No. It was just, like there's a few little drop balls and things, and
too many mistakes.
The roll of the ball wasn't going the Chiefs' way.
Well, it's an oval ball.
Yeah, that's right. So it's unpredictable, but sometimes it bounces up and it pops up on your favour. And this year so far, it's certainly done that for D-Mac.
It has. He's had the run of the
and
run
you
of the
make
game.
your own luck, right?
You do, and the Waratahs
But
certainly did that.
I feel like the Waratahs have maybe made their own luck by just chucking a little bit of DW40 on the ball.
What, are you accusing them of ball slippering?
It's Australia's #1 selling multi-purpose lubricant spray.
Right.
And I think what's happened is the Chiefs are more into the CRC. They know the viscosity and the texture of the CRC 5.56.
Okay.
So they're just not used to that WD-40.
Which is just a little bit more slippery than the
usual.
usual.
A little bit more slippery.
So you're sort of going on a theme that the Aussies are quite into their ball tampering.
Oh, they're cheating scoundrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're if they're not shaving it down with sandpaper, they're bloody putting some
WD-40
axle grease on it.
Yeah.
And right.
Yeah.
So the only thing is, mate, is that they were also playing with that same ball.
Yeah, and what do you do when you're gonna tamper with the ball? You're gonna train with it. You're gonna train with it all week.
I was going to say you put weird little sticky grip things on your hands.
They went through 10 cans of WD-40, like family-sized cans of.
Where sells a family-sized can of
Bunnings,
WD-40?
There's a couple of sizes. One of them's a family value pack.
Here's my how I think the Bunnings person would respond to that. I need a can of WD-40, please, family size. I reckon they'd go, why?
It's multi-purpose lubricant spray.
How squeaky are your doors?
You might have 200 doors in your house.
Who's got... It's not the Queen.
Why have you gone all high pitched?
I don't know.
Or maybe they've got you just want it. You want it. You always want it there. It's
okay.
It's the toolbox in a can.
Yeah.
That's how CRC
so they
describes
were
it.
not. It was the full moon. D-Mac had a shocker, and the Waratahs tampered with the ball.
Yeah,
your excuse.
You could feel it right at the start of the game. The refs were checking shit, And the Waratahs, they scored 105-meter try, which shouldn't be possible because it's only a 100-meter field.
Well, how do you know? Who said it was 105?
Shut up, man. They shouldn't have done it.
Do you know what? I love that you're just flabbergasted, so flabbergasted that you lost that you're coming up with these excuses as to why. Mate, you had a shocker, and if you keep playing like that, you're just going to lose again, probably to the Crusaders, and I'll just keep saying this because it's not good enough, mate.
Yep. It was an anomaly, mate. It was an anomaly, and it was because of the full moon. It's an anomaly, mate. We've had a great start to the season. We had that little blip in Fiji, which I thought was fair enough because of the conditions. This is inexcusable, but hopefully it's just once.
Well, everybody was having a little bit of a funny game, including an interesting incident with Gideon Rampling.
Oh, yeah.
of Rampling Manor.
Gideon of Rampling.
Gideon of Rampling.
Sir Gideon of Rampling.
Of Rampling Manor. Sir Gideon.
Brave Sir Gideon.
Fetch my coat, Sir Gideon.
What do you think Sir Gideon's horse is called?
Lydian.
Sir Gideon on Lydian.
Lydian?
From Gideon Manor.
No, I reckon
the
it's
Rampling
called
Manor.
Barry or something.
Baz.
Yeah.
Bazza.
Snowflake.
Oh, yes.
Here, Snowflake. Here, boy.
It's Gideon here, Snowflake. Let me ride you.
I reckon, mate, that shot on Suoli'i, he was lucky not to see red for that. But also, Suoli'i, he just bounced out of that and just stood back up, and he was just standing there like some kind of robot.
Yeah, because he had 6 weeks off, mate.
Mate, I'm questioning whether Suoli'i is fully human. I'm starting to think if he cut his arm off and pulled his hand off, he'd reveal some kind of some skeleton, metal skeleton underneath. Because the way it's a weird sort of bug, isn't it?
Yeah, the way
buzzing around me. The way he just took that literally on the chin and stood back up as if nothing had happened. I was like, Jesus Christ, this man's literally a machine.
I think it's
like we should be testing him.
Well rested.
Well, he played last week, didn't he?
He's only played 3 games in the competition.
Right, so he can take a knock or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been warming up his head. He's been sitting there like this.
Before a cockatoo.
What?
Well, the bird, mate. The Aussie bird.
You said a cockatoo,
I said a cockatoo. The bird.
Before a cockatoo or
I said because they're Australian birds.
A cock or two or a cockatoo? You said or, mate. And you know it. You did it on purpose.
Mm. I did. I tried to get in. The Chiefs sucked, so that was probably disappointing for you.
Another team that sucked, and it's your team against the Crusaders.
Well, what's new?
Yeah.
Look, the Hurricanes, they tried their best, but their best was not good enough, and they were doing it at the end against 13 men.
Still couldn't get across the line.
It's really annoying, and you and I we're all going to be fucked off at this because the Crusaders are just up to their old tricks where I'm starting to think that they were taking men off deliberately. They're just like, hey, let's just do a foul and we'll use it as like training. We'll build some character because they didn't need them, mate. They didn't need those 2 players.
But that says more about you than about them.
I don't think it does. It's an annoying ability to close out tight games, which is what which is why they're 13, 14-time champions or whatever they are.
Well, in their defence, the poor old Hurricanes didn't really look like winning in that game.
I got to admit, we didn't look like winning really at any point. Unfortunately, they put us behind on the scoreboard early on, and then we just knew.
Hard to come back.
We knew. We were watching that while I was smashing those wings and that burger at Shapiro's.
Yeah, you did it again, actually.
Yeah, I did it again.
Went to Shapiro's, had a couple of friends there actually this time. And they made comment when you ordered the burger and fries again with the side of wings.
Yeah.
And then you got someone else's wings too.
I then dug into the loaded fries as well on top of that, which had bits of cheese in it.
Other wings as well.
Yeah, I was eating.
You ate Laura's wings. She had leftovers.
No, I didn't feel too well after that. But they do a lovely set of wings at Shapiro's. They do. They do. But it didn't feel good right from the start. And you could tell because I was a bit sulky.
Full moon, mate.
I was a bit sulky that night watching it because I was just
you're
going...
You're always sulky when your team loses.
Mate,
you go a little bit. Yeah, but you do it worse and you do it more often because you suck more.
So we sulk equally, but I just sulk...
You just sulk more.
More frequently.
Yeah.
We're bad losers, aren't we? We actually are. You're not a great loser.
Nah, I'm not a great winner either.
Well, no, you're not so bad.
I've just got to smile.
You're not so bad. What I love about our Super Smack group that we have with our mates, Dave, Ryan, and Charlie, what I love about Dave is that whenever the Chiefs are going to lose, he jumps in first so no one can throw the first punch. He gets in and he punches himself a couple of times. It goes, it's so funny.
Softens the blow.
And he's talking, just sending texts to himself. No one else is replying. It's brilliant. He's trying to get ahead so that we don't lay the boot in.
Yeah, fair
Although
enough.
You definitely deserve the boot. Sorry, back to the game of the round.
Basically, it was just the Crusaders being the Crusaders, wasn't it?
And it was a good lot of mongrel in that game. Yeah. That's what I loved about it. Like the Hurricanes made it hard for them.
Well, I mean, there was a little scrap between the fullbacks, Ruben Love, and
a fight
Will
for the
Jordan.
15.
And that was right on the dead ball line. And
was
70
over the
metres away were the other players. And they were there in a flash.
No, they
were
knew.
frothing
there
for
was
a
there
little
was
punch
there
up.
was definitely some beef. There was something happening between those two the whole game. What do you reckon was going through their heads there? That's Ruben just getting a bit.
I think Ruben Love is probably one of those players when he was younger that was always the best on the field, and he was used to it. And I think he's just a little bit frustrated because there's Will Jordan out there who's actually better.
He looks over the other side and he goes, "Fucking Will Jordan,"
and he just can't handle it.
All Blacks.
Because when someone challenges him, they bite back. He bites back.
Yeah,
he's been doing that on social media.
Yeah, no, he
against the pundits.
Yeah, he has apologising for his behaviour because he knows he's sort of done a bit wrong.
Well, last week he said there's only one Paikokuriki Express, and Cullen would never have had a little go at Will Jordan.
What? No, Cullen didn't need to.
He was the Will Jordan in that situation.
He's just young. Ruben Love's great. He's a great player, but also, what are you doing having a go at
Do you
Will
think
Jordan?
I'm right, though? He would have been, He would have been used to being the golden boy.
Oh, yeah. Because you can tell just the sheer skill of the guy. He would have been leaps and bounds above the other students, right? Or the other players in his club. And now he's like, fucking Will Jordan. Every time
don't even want to be an All Black.
Don't even want to. Just play for the 15.
Hey, mate, how does it feel being a place below the Highlanders on the table now?
Great, mate. It feels awesome.
Yeah?
No, it feels shit. I had to sit next to Ryan O'Kane the other night while he pointed out that if they got the bonus, they go to 17, and then they score that last try from Sam Gilbert. Actually, I think they may have even had the bonus point before that. They ran away with it at the end.
They did.
But that was no, I don't feel great.
You don't feel good?
Because now we're the bottom New Zealand team.
What does it feel like?
Well, it feels pretty bad, pretty sad.
Yeah.
I would say. Oh, okay, I'll tell you. I would liken the feeling of being the bottom New Zealand team. I would liken to the feeling of a dodgy Vindaloo.
Oh,
yeah, like the sweats in the bed at night. Like you're trying to get to sleep and it's just pouring out of you.
Do you think have you had a dodgy one before,
mate? Absolutely. I've had a dodgy Indian.
They usually have
I've had a couple of dodgy Indians.
Quality Indian food.
Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing against the quality. It's just maybe it's just thick and rich, and it lays you on your ass.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Maybe judging from your intake at Shapiro's, I'm thinking maybe is it a volume thing more than a quality? Because we all know. I've got a little bit of a bugbear with the curry. You order a takeaway curry, right?
Yeah.
From any establishment in Auckland. That curry in the little plastic container is too big for one person to have in one sitting.
Well, yeah, they're probably made to be shared.
But mate, we all eat one. We all eat the full thing.
We do, and we get a naan.
We might have best intentions to save it till tomorrow, but we do.
Yeah.
We eat till we feel sick. We eat so much, and fuck you, Indian restaurants, because man, give me a half size.
And they never they would never tell you to share one. They're always trying to upsell you to a curry each because, of course, everybody likes it. Everybody has a different favourite curry, right?
But why are they making them so big that it makes me feel and so tasty?
Because, mate, it's all just it's sauce. The thing we forget is that sauce is basically just half a pound of butter. You may as well get a block of butter out of the fridge, cut it in half, and just start chewing on it on the couch.
There's a little bit of chook in there. I get the jalfrezi, which has got a bit of capsicum,
there's a bit of
onion.
chook. Do you know what place I really love?
Yeah.
Timur. There's a Nepalese Indian place in Avondale, Timur. Big shout out. Best Indian
Looking
I've
for
had.
a sponsor.
Yeah, they're excellent, but also it just messes with your guts. It messes with you. And if you're me, you've got yourself a naan on the side.
Oh yeah.
You've got yourself the rice, of course, but then you've gone and ordered an onion bhaji.
But you go the onion bhaji as well, mate. You are playing.
And then, of course, the onions. I think I've got a slight onion allergy.
No, I don't think you do, mate. If you're having think about how many onions they're putting in that curry. You're probably eating 5 full onions in that meal.
So I shouldn't be eating.
No
person should be eating that many onions, eh?
Yeah.
So actually, the butter's neither here nor there.
And you know what? I think
that's the onions.
I think Indian restaurants are missing a trick, because if I didn't sit there on a Sunday and absolutely ruin my life, I might feel like it a little more often. They could be getting another couple of meals out of me during the week.
Mate, there's no way you're eating Indian more than once a week. It is a once a week
because
feast.
I'm having the full box, mate. And it's like woken up on Monday morning, put the toilet paper in the freezer because I'm getting medium. I like it spicy. And mate, it's like
freezer.
Sometimes
just let it melt off.
Sometimes
on
it
you.
comes out and it looks the same.
Oh,
sorry.
We're moving on. That's ridiculous. I don't want it. What? Like a mango chicken? Actually, you're right. It does.
When have I ever eaten a mango chicken?
No, we're not that stupid. We're not 12.
Man, I'm not from Dunedin.
No, we actually have a refined palate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we kind of got off track there. I mean, Indian food's lovely, and I enjoy it. But
once a week I'm in there.
yeah, I can't even imagine having it more than once a week. Even once a week is too much sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting the shits now.
I feel like a curry.
You're going to have one, aren't you?
On the
You're
way
going to
home.
have one. Go to Timor, mate.
Is it round here?
It's just down. It's really good.
Okay.
Nepalese goat curry.
Blues Moana. 36-17 to the Blues.
Well, convincing.
Yep, and they're big boys. They put on their big boy pants for this game, and they actually showed up consistently across the squad. Patrick Tuipulotu put his hand up. Satutu put his hand up.
Oh, by the way, on that, because I know you had him in your fantasy.
Who's that?
Tuipulotu.
Yes.
So I just want to flag for everybody here, just so you know, we're at Shapiro's. I wanted to make a last-minute change to my fantasy because we were both sitting there trying to make last-minute changes. Ra makes a change on his phone.
Yeah, Balin Sullivan to Umaga Jensen.
Which was a great choice in the end, right? So I'm trying to make a change. I'm logging in because my browser on my phone keeps logging me out each time. And as I'm going to log in, you reach over and you fiddle around with my numbers on my phone and stop me entering my password. You sabotage me, mate.
Payback.
Directly. For what?
For when you made me for the
previous Blues game.
Exactly, that Blues game where you made me sign the rookie.
Mate,
I can't remember his name.
I just convinced you. You had your own free will.
Yeah, and I convinced you with my fingers that you've forgotten your password.
You physically interfered with my ability to change a player.
Do you ever stop whinging, mate?
No. No, I don't.
Oh, you can't do that.
Why?
I don't know.
Do what?
I don't know.
Oh, geez,
sorry about that, mate.
No, you should. I just wanted an apology. It's really all I
sorry.
wanted.
I'm not really that sorry, but sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that half-hearted. Hey, it was pretty obvious that Moana had obviously run out of all their Joss.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about the Joss last week.
Well, that Joss was gone, mate, because they didn't really... I mean, it was a terrible first half, and they didn't really show up in the second. I mean, they did a little bit.
It makes sense, though, because like you said, you can't bring it back. So
what, Joss from Indonesia?
Well, I mean, sorry, you can bring it back, but you can't get it here. So
no.
Obviously, no one from the team's wider sort of group of and like wider family hadn't gone to Thailand. So
to Bali
or Bali.
Well,
sorry.
you probably get it in Thailand too. I'd be if there was a budget allowance for travel, I'd probably be sending someone over to Bali weekly to pick up some
every
more
week.
Joss.
You reckon?
At this point,
it doesn't sound like something that's kind of like the curry we're talking about.
At this point, you're going to need it. It
might not be something that they want to do every week.
Mate, they need to do something because they ain't getting further up the table with that performance.
Mate, they've had 2 in a row.
Yeah.
When was the last time the Hurricanes did that?
Oh, ages.
Last season. Sorry. But yeah, maybe you should go and get some Joss for yourself.
I'd love some Joss.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, if you've got a hookup.
Annoyingly, I mean, I'm talking about the big boys putting their big boy pants on.
Yeah,
but
come on, talk about them. Talk about them.
I think Christie might have made a bit of a difference at starting because he started the last couple of games.
Do you really think he was the difference?
No, I'm just saying that there's a correlation there between maybe Christie and maybe something just clicking a little bit.
I don't know, man. I think it's Bowden, and I know
it's definitely
that I love him,
players.
But 2 weeks in a row he has shown. Why he is a great 10, I believe. Like he at 10, and now that they've kind of given him that jersey, he's come back from that hand injury, and he's so calm. He's like the Bodie of old, where he can almost slow time down when he's playing. Like he's even more so than D-Mac sometimes. He just has it's the Will Jordan thing. They do their actions so calmly that you're like, how are you doing this at this frenetic pace? But you look like you're just not even phased by it. Like the chip and chase that he did, albeit off a slightly dodgy call that the ref should have probably picked up with Dalton and Ardy.
Yeah.
the way he executed it, it's just great. Like, it's so good for New Zealand rugby to see him playing it well at that position. I'm just always stoked for it. And, of course, very disappointed.
Yeah, we get it. You love Bodie.
All
I'm doing is asking you, like, I'm saying, like, who's inside him? And I know you want to be, but I'm saying, like, who's Christie's, like, he started in
I don't think that matters. He's just doing a relatively average distribution of the ball to Bodie, and that Bodie's doing the work.
Yeah, okay.
What do you like him for?
I don't.
Do you like his hair or something?
Well, maybe it's a distraction.
Well, it's certainly a distraction.
The opposition just sort of looks over. Oh, where's a fire? We're gonna.
Yes, there he is. He's running around the field. Yeah, I mean, it is very bright orange.
And he was
brighter orange than my beard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's orange.
Yeah. Well, you get sort of negated by the blonde up top.
Yeah, I was once told by a woman in Oakuni that I looked like an Australian shepherd dog.
Okay.
Yeah, like a weird sort of mix of like white, gold, and orange. I don't know if you've ever seen one. They're quite beautiful dogs.
I reckon you'd look like a SS soldier's schnauzer.
Why an SS soldier's? To be honest, mate, I'd probably just look like an SS soldier.
Yeah, but
regardless of the dog.
Schnauzer.
But then maybe I'm one of those soldiers that shapeshifts into a dog, sneak in and steal some of the Allied papers, and conquer Europe.
We talked a little bit during the week about the bin slapping. And you had a bit of a fight on social media with the Blues Instagram account.
Well, it wasn't so much a fight, but I said we posed on our socials, who actually owns this bin slapping lark? Like, who invented this? Who has the bragging rights to be doing this? And they said, well, Mark Tellier and the Blues have been doing this since 2020, which actually was funny in itself because I thought they might have said like 2014 or something, but it was only a few years ago. And I wrote pics or it didn't happen. And then they tagged us in a post of Mark Tellier not only slamming a wheelie bin, but mate,
is he bringing other bins into it?
He was slamming all kinds of bins.
What kind?
It was like a laundry bin that they obviously put all their shirts in.
Hey,
and he's grabbing
disrespectful. There's someone that does all that laundry.
And they're having to take a slammed bin.
Yeah, they might cut themselves on a little fragment of like bin side.
Yeah.
The side of the bin.
Yeah, a fragment of bin side that's been beaten by the sprig of a boot. Because Mark Tellier's lost his mind.
Mate, he goes crazy.
He really does.
He loses his control. He's not in control.
Well, what's funny is that why are none of the others also slapping the bins? It looks like he's slapping it, and everyone's standing around the perimeter of the changing room going, all right, Mark. Yeah, and they're sort of going.
Oh, you mean
right.
because it's usually the leader that slaps it.
Well,
the person
I know,
that's leading the chant.
But it looked like on this one they were like, all right, mate. That's a laundry bin. Just chase. Whoa.
Come on. Michael's in charge of the laundry, and we don't need him getting a cut hand from bin side.
Is it your laundry week, Mark? No. You're always.
Are you bringing the oranges next week? No, mate. You haven't done the washing once since you've been in this team,
and you always happen to be slapping the bin on the week that you're not doing laundry.
I think we should bring back. I think we should get rid of the Michaels of the world. No offense to Michael.
Who's Michael?
He does the laundry for the Blues.
Yeah.
I think
Michael Jones.
No. Well, maybe his name's Michael Jones, but it's not it's not Iceman.
Imagine if it turned out
Jones.
Michael Jones was doing the laundry for the Blues.
Definitely not, Matt.
But they have that sort of give back to the club thing, the older guys, That's lovely.
All I'm saying, Matt, is that we should bring back what we used to do in JMC, and it's one family's time every other week. You know, you get a new family that takes home the jerseys, give them a wash.
Yep.
You got to fill up the perimeter of your washing line out in the backyard.
Yep.
And
got to go clean the tees.
Exactly, and you fold them all up, and like there's a lot of pride in that.
There is. I'll tell you what, Michael Jones would not be impressed, I don't think, with Mark Tellier's bin slamming. Well, I reckon
less the bin slamming, more the disrespect of the people that are doing the cleaning and washing those jerseys. Do they use a new jersey every week?
What do you mean? No.
Do you reckon they don't?
Oh, do you know what? Maybe they do. Because you know how you can often get old playing jerseys? No, surely that is the biggest waste of... They can't be.
You reckon they're not?
So if they've got... they can't be. They have to be recycling it,
Mate,
surely.
I've been using this jersey for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Would you use jersey from the week before?
Of course.
Of course.
You just
In
wash it.
fact, you kind of want to, right?
Well, yeah, unless it's like it gets.
But hang on, but it's,
pongy.
I guess, if you're like 10, right? If you're Bowden, say, and there's another 10, Harry Plummer's going to have a slightly different size jersey to Bowden. So does Bowden recycle? You know what? I reckon they maybe do use a new one every week.
A new one every week.
That's shocking
it's
to think.
a bit of a waste.
Shocking.
What happens to all those jerseys? That's hundreds
I
of
guess
jerseys.
they auction them off, right? They'll.
I'm not seeing many jerseys that ex-player jersey. Yeah.
Well, you probably don't want a Blues jersey from this season, that's for sure.
No, neither are Hurricanes.
Thank God I'm wearing last season.
I think that's about it for the Blues Moana. I mean, we really hoped that Moana was going to get
My only
up there.
other takeaways from that were Bodie still a bit shocking off the tee. 50% wasn't quite good enough.
He missed a couple of sitters.
Right in front. So that's quite concerning because I always think he should be an excellent kicker, but for some weird reason
Can you ask
he's
him
not.
next time?
Yeah, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just ask him now. Bodie, what is it? What's wrong, mate?
Yeah, what's happened?
What's going on?
Well, I mean, there has been times in the past where we've kind of talked about
and
it.
I'm happy to go down to the park and kick a few back and forth if that's what you need.
Someone's paid to do that, mate.
Yeah, but I'll do it for free, so you can put that money toward another
Laundry.
jersey.
The laundry.
Michael Jones's volunteer salary.
We've got to move on.
Okay,
the Highlanders, they got a win, and they got a dominant win, actually.
Yeah. Well, there is a God. Miracles can happen, and not just whailangi. They got a very convincing win in the end.
Yeah, well done, Highlanders.
Yep. In fact, scoring a try right after the full-time whistle, Sam Gilbert got one, and it was convincing. 2 tries on debut for Philemoni.
Yep,
a beast on defence too. He had a great game actually.
Yeah,
really really good game, and Nareki was amazing on the other wing. So both their wingers were on form.
They've had some great wingers in the past.
They have.
Yeah.
They've always had.
It's just what's in between that's really getting them down.
Yeah, it's like they've had 2 amazing looking ears and then just a real ugly face.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, sometimes it
and
happens.
just nothing. Well, there's nothing between the ears.
Eyes
right?
are a little bit close together.
Maybe
a couple of broke.
You probably
missing half a
the
tooth.
brain probably doesn't develop as well or as quickly down in Dunedin.
Oh, you think so?
Well, just in that area of the country where maybe it's colder and you have to
conserve. There's a good university down there. Are you sure?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the people that go to that university aren't from Dunedin, are they?
True.
I'd love to see the stats.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying.
Slower evolutionary cycle down there.
I think maybe that's the case. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Quite a few Catholics.
Right. Fabian Holland got down-trowed, and I think he kind of liked it. He did a bit of a booty pop and then popped back into the ruck with his pants down around his ankles.
So do you reckon he's a bottom?
Maybe, yeah. Could be. I mean, I haven't asked him, so
no,
he could be.
There's always time.
He did. He made a half-assed attempt to pull him up, but I mean, literally it was.
Do you think that's because it was Spates and 2 big stars splattered on his ass, right? Do you think there's a bit of a sponsorship thing?
I think that's what it is, Gareth.
Someone from Spates' marketing team has gone, I'm going to get Daniel Lennart-Brown or whoever it is to pull down your pants at around about 59 minutes.
Don't pull him back up,
Don't pull him up. Just give us a few seconds.
Yeah, and just bend over and get right back into
God knows
Sumo's
going to point them out because he loves a fucking down trail.
And he used an old-fashioned term, slacks or something.
Yeah.
He's lost the slacks.
Mate, I didn't mention you were talking about Aaron Cruden last week.
Yeah. And to be fair, before you move on there, I was listening to him again this week, and he was better.
Bad.
He was better than I gave him credit for.
Well, mate, Beaver.
Yeah, he's another one, isn't he?
Beaver sounds like he's speaking with a cup over his mouth. It's like the whole it's hilarious. I don't know what he's up to.
Well, I've got a little bit of a concern. The guy might have had a stroke. Well, I mean, yeah, I've got a bit of a concern, and it came up in the news this week. Sebastien Chabal, the French loose forward, was he lock or loose forward?
He was a loose forward. He was 6, I think. Yeah,
or 8. Absolute beast of a player, massive contact,
yeah,
huge defender. But he came out saying that he doesn't remember a second of his playing career. He doesn't remember playing a single game.
What?
That's pretty. Has he
crazy. Got CTE or
yeah, absolutely. That's what it sounds like. He's got a brain injury.
He would have taken a few hits in his time.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, he broke Ali Williams' jaw with his head.
So he genuinely just has no.
He's got no
that's
memory.
awful, man.
And I mean, I hope that's not the case for Beaver. Maybe he's just going through a little.
Oh no,
bit of
I'm sure.
CTE
Actually,
issues.
Beaver, I think, remembers quite a few things, but just slurred speech,
Yeah, that's the beginning, maybe.
Or it could be the beginning of something.
I actually quite like Beaver's comments, though.
Oh no, he's a very knowledgeable guy.
Yeah.
And loves a good yarn,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just can't always understand what he's saying.
Also, what came out of this game is that the Drua just score some fucking outrageous tries.
Mate, they are so good on attack. They just...
But I think their attack is... no one's teaching them that. It's
natural.
It's natural Fijian flair.
Yeah.
You know, and what I think they need to do, because they're not winning enough, and I think they need to win a few more, obviously. They're at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
I reckon we just get rid of all of the attacking coaching.
Yeah.
Just take it off the table.
Just bring in a
the
defense
whole
coach.
and just 10 defense coaches.
10?
Yeah, let's just make it an army of defensive coaching.
Mate,
and they just focus on that every single second.
You're
of their
basically
training.
saying there's almost one defense coach for every player in the team.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, have you heard of the phrase "too many cooks spoil the broth"?
Sure, but I don't know. Just keep them on standby.
Yeah, I mean, even one defensive coach, because it clearly looks like they don't really have one.
They need to focus.
Oh, they need to focus on it because they can score as many amazing flary tries as they like, but if they can't win games, they're going to end up at the bottom of the table like they have pretty much every single year of this competition, which is sad to see because they are talented, but it doesn't matter in the end, does it?
I think maybe we send Glenn Jackson over to the Chiefs for a little bit of development for next year and just maybe send them another defensive coach from somewhere.
Glenn Jackson looked angry. They were cutting to him.
He would never.
No, they were cutting to him.
He doesn't have an angry bone in his body.
He looked fucked off.
Did he?
At a few things, and like he was swearing and he was raging, and I was like,
how was it presenting?
I was like, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Glenn.
How was his anger?
Glenn's got a bit of anger.
How was his anger presenting? Like,
just kind of like really like furious, wild eyes and red cheeked. Like an angry pirate.
Is he like an animorph? Would you if he turned into an animal in the changing shed? What would it be?
What if he just in front of everyone?
Yeah, he's just like
lost his mind and just transformed.
Yeah, like kind of like the Hulk, but into an animal.
Probably like like a little angry badger or something like that, or a mongoose.
Oh,
wily and
what
quick,
are those Australian birds? The real violent ones, the cassowary.
Oh,
the ones that kill people.
Cassowary.
Yeah, he could be one of those.
Yeah, Glenn Jackson's a cassowary. He just looked absolutely fucking livid at some of the Drua's decisions, and it was scary, man. I was scared.
Okay,
put the shits up me.
Well, I mean, it's a dominant performance from the Highlanders. So well done.
Yep, dominant performance, and
they're on their way to get into the top six.
And it's all downhill from here for them. Unfortunately, they've got you next week at FMG.
Yeah.
They got the Crusaders. They've got us. That'll be a sure win for the Hurricanes. And I don't think it's going to get very much better for the Highlanders, unfortunately.
Hey mate, if I put the jersey on the line this week against the Highlanders, will you do it again for when you play them next?
Are you seriously saying that? Mate, I think your jersey's pretty damn safe. I can't see the Highlanders getting near
the same
to you.
thing could happen. D-Mac could have another.
He won't
rocker.
because you guys that's a big wake up call, which often you need, and you'll come back to FMG, and I would say you'll right the wrong. I mean, you should do. Things would have to go seriously pear shaped, but. Okay, you're putting the jersey on the line?
Absolutely.
You're agreeing to wear a Highlanders jersey on the podcast?
Highlanders jersey if I lose.
Why is it always the freaking Highlanders jerseys?
Because I think that's funnier, mate, because I know how much you hate doing it. That's it. It's all about how much I know it gets under your skin, because that's pretty much my goal in this podcast.
On top of my skin,
is
hopefully.
Just to get a little bit... No, I want you to put it underneath. I want you to... really put it inside you.
Oh.
Just right underneath the layer of skin. We'll cut a little hole up
like
here.
Some people do with panties and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they stuff the panties in them.
That's it, man.
And then sell them.
Yeah, then sell them.
That's disgusting, man.
It's you doing it, so.
Yeah.
So great work from the Highlanders.
Yeah, the rates of chlamydia in Dunedin would have gone through the roof after that win.
Yes.
Would have been a lot of celebrating with some unprotected students.
Reds Brumbies was the final game, a classic Aussie derby, and
It was a good game, mate.
It was a good
really
game,
was.
but
It was fiery.
I don't know. I don't know whether it was because
You
was
weren't impressed.
No, it's just because it was at the end of a long weekend, and I was a little bit fucked off about Friday's results. And I just got a little bit like, I've seen this game
mate, what was really
20
good
times before.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have. But the Brumbies made a clear statement, and you look at the top of the table now, and the three teams there, the Crusaders, the Chiefs, and the Brumbies, it's kind of a typical Super Rugby top of the table you'd expect to see. And we always knew that we hoped that the Waratahs were going to be a new team that would put up a fight, but sure, the Brumbies will always be there. And they showed last night why they always will be. Lulasia was amazing. It was actually great for the Reds, I got to say, to play a match that wasn't pissing down with rain, because the last two games at FMG and at Suncorp have been completely soaking. So that was amazing. There was some really good rugby. Paisami was good, mate.
I'm glad you're excited about it, mate. You feel more excited about this game than the Hurricanes game,
Well, of course I do. Well, I'm depressed about the Hurricanes game. I don't want to lose to the Crusaders. It's the worst night of my life.
Yeah. Of your life?
I mean, no, there's definitely been
perspective,
there's
mate.
definitely worse nights.
You've had worse nights.
There's been worse nights, but any time you lose to the Crusaders or see the Crusaders doing even marginally well, it just depresses me and all of us.
Yeah.
That's why I ate so much that night. I was eating.
Mate, that was pre-game.
Oh. Was it?
Yeah. And you guys were ahead, what was it, 10-0 at the 20-minute mark?
So you know what? What that says is that I knew.
You knew it was coming.
I knew that it was going to go bad. I knew that the Crusaders had it on us, and so I ordered heaps of food.
Just in case.
And just sort of depressingly ate it, even though I didn't want it, and then later suffered the consequences. I mean, that's sad, isn't it?
Oh well. Hey, Angus Gardner had a wee honest moment, actually.
But too honest, you think?
A little bit too honest. He literally said, I need help with this because I have no idea.
What? You can't be saying that
because
as a
I have no idea.
Mate, you can't be saying that as a professional referee.
No, make something up.
Surely, just say anything.
I didn't quite see that. I just want to confirm that there is a grounding. If you can please just have a quick look and let me know.
Or even fake a medical emergency and go, for a moment there, guys, I blacked out. I lost my vision. And I just, not only could I get a clear side of the ball, I actually couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I probably need to get checked tomorrow. Yeah. Make up a really long-winded story that makes you sound like a liar.
I went to the Coogee Pavilion with DMAC on Thursday and I'm still a bit hungover.
And neither of us have had a good game. He's going to have to go back to doing some training videos with no one else on the field.
Oh my God, that is the best video I think I've seen this year.
Chris Lilly, eat your heart out. It's outrageous,
honestly.
It's awesome.
Do you think he was seriously doing that?
100%, mate.
How?
Something makes me think.
How does that get past?
I don't know Angus, but I have a feeling that maybe he is a little bit like that, you know? He takes it very seriously.
Very seriously.
Yeah.
So Brumbies up to third, and that was a pretty convincing little derby win there.
Yep.
They probably deserve to be at the top.
Another couple
team.
They do. But the Reds played really well, and they were with them till about 55 minutes before the Brumbies pulled away.
They're still there in the table as well. The Waratahs and the Reds are still very close.
It's still dominated. The top six is dominated really by
and you said that it was
Aussie
not
sides.
going to be. And
no, I said that there will not be one in the final. That's what I said.
Mate, you're going to have to do a lot of work for the rest.
Avoid them being one in the final?
To avoid being not in the top six. Because there's 3 Australian teams plus 2 New Zealand teams that have more than 10 more points than you.
Yeah, but they're not going to make it through, are they? They've got to make it all the way.
But don't you want to make it into the finals, mate?
Just
me? Pull your finger out.
Mate,
stop worrying about everyone else and actually just get behind your boys, mate.
I'm behind my boys.
You were so much more animated about that Reds Brumbies game, and I'm on behalf of the
thought it was a good game.
On behalf of
here we go.
Karifi, on behalf of all of 7 of your captains. Mate, I'm just a little bit disappointed in you. And I think what you need to do is maybe you need to go down and see your mum. Go hang out with your mum and
go to Wellington.
And go to a couple of games at Sky Stadium.
Yeah, actually, well, when is the next one?
Go and support your province, mate.
I'll go down. I'll go down for the finals. I've probably been to more Super Rugby finals than you.
Don't Skype, mate.
But I have, mate. You know that's true. Okay, let's get into some awards, shall we?
Wanker of the week.
Why do you go that one first all the time?
Because it's at the top of my list. I've got one.
Okay. You go first.
In the Hurricanes Crusaders game.
Okay.
And we talked about it.
Oh.
Ruben Love.
Yeah. Well, it was a pretty clear candidate for Wanker of the Week. He got a lot of shit about it.
Well, as soon as he did it, he had a little smile on his face like he'd been caught.
So do you reckon they know each other well, though? Like him and Jordan? Maybe not.
I think Ruben Love would say that they do.
He would. Ruben would go, yeah, no, Will and I.
And Will Jordan would be like, who?
I reckon Will.
Oh, that guy.
Will saw his post on it and went, he's still a fucking dick.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
the guy that almost made the All Blacks?
Yeah, the guy that starts at 15 for the Hurricanes against Japan. Yeah. Oh, that guy.
Oh, that guy. When I get rested, the guy that plays when I get rested.
Who plays second to D-Mac or Geordie or Bowden when I get rested.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Look, Ruben Love is great.
He's great.
But that was a bit of a dick move. But also, it added a bit of spice to the game,
But
mate.
it was just silly. I think he's been caught out, like just being, like letting it get to him a bit.
He did. And the Hurricanes are actually sometimes often guilty of that. That's where the composure, you need to have that composure. So just focus on the game, Ruben. Do what you love.
Do what you Ruben Love.
My wanker of the week is James Leckie.
Oh, the TMO.
Mate, the TMO from the Waratahs game, because that was a try. I'm sorry, that was a try all day.
Yes.
And they were saying something about it, like not being, like it had forced itself in goal and then found its way to
They
the
said
line.
simultaneous grounding.
I mean, that's just, it's
a round ball.
It's kind of ridiculous. But I reckon there should be a rule that with a try like that, when an effort like that has been made, they should just give the try.
Yeah,
just
100%.
purely for the spectacle and the execution of the move.
100%.
I mean,
I agree with that.
And thank God they didn't, because otherwise that really could have been a pasting.
Yeah.
If the momentum had gone that way. But James Leckie, come on, mate.
Sort it out,
Get
mate.
your glasses. Go to Specsavers.
And just don't be a dick. When it's a 50-50 call, just go on the attacking players side.
Look out, like he was clearly there. What's the point in looking at that a million times? Just,
And
just to give the Chiefs another one.
You know what, James? You're just jealous because you want to be able to score a try like that, mate. Sort your shit out.
Yeah, you fucking dick. No, we love you, James. I don't even know you. What do you got?
Player of the day. Get on you, mate. I feel like we might be on the same page here.
Yeah. Who is it?
I'm going Joseph.
Oh,
Suoliti.
I wanted to go Joseph.
He took a high shot. He had a try assist, a couple of try assists, and he scored a try with fucking 5 Chiefs on him. And he stepped D-Mac in that move as well.
Yeah, he actually, do you know what? I actually might be changing. I was going to say Bodie, only because I thought he really made a difference in that game. But you know what? Suoliti was. He was electric and showing again now, thankfully, why he is the amazing player that he is.
Yeah, showing how just a good rest is like really beneficial for the stage of the competition.
And don't you touch that fucking seafood platter at the afters.
Nah, mate. I think it was all a game. It's a tactic. They just brought him
They're
back
very
in.
clever, eh? They're very wily. Yeah, he's the new Falau, isn't he? So that's well, not
Hopefully
in
he's
that
not
way.
making the same sort of.
Well, I don't want that kind of homophobic rhetoric.
No, we don't need that.
No, but I think that was a mistake.
Do you think he'll ever come back for Lau? Like I was thinking maybe.
Well, he's playing rugby somewhere.
He's
isn't
playing
he?
in Japan,
right?
But would Moana Pacifica ever take him on, or is he just not allowed to play for Super Rugby?
Why would you take him on?
Because he's a good player.
No, but mate, you can't be saying that kind of rubbish.
What if he
in
came
the
out and said,
competition. We don't want
I'm
that
not
kind of shit,
homophobic anymore. I actually really like
I've renounced
gay lesbian people. I'm all good now.
Well, then, yeah, actually, that would be okay because he'd be
So then
making
he'd be
amends.
alright?
That's what people should do in those situations. Is actually not double down. They should make amends and try and be inclusive and supportive of different people. Right?
You take him at the Hurricanes.
We'd take anyone at the Hurricanes. Hey, we've got a great
Most
backline.
improved player.
Oh,
not that one.
Sorry, that was a way of me. Most improved.
Oh, you go. You go first.
Can I go first?
You go first.
The Waratahs backline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't want to give Suoliti Player of the Day, because I thought generally they came to the party and they put you to the sword. And it was, mate, that 100-metre try, 105 as you like to call it, was beautiful. They've come back from 2 terrible losses away, and they deserve most improved because that was a performance and a half.
Boring answer. Scott Barrett is mine. He's gone from first to second gear. He's fine.
Only second gear.
Yeah. And he's playing sweet.
Do you know what?
A couple of amazing try assists.
Yeah, he had a couple of great assists. And you put him. Did you put him in your fantasy?
No, I didn't. No, because I thought he might still.
I did.
I thought he might still be in first. But he must have listened to the potty last week because we gave him a bit of shit.
Definitely listened to it. Yep. No, we gave him. Well, we didn't give him shit so much as say what's been going. Wondering what his plan was.
And you know what? We've got to be careful about what we say on this podcast.
Do we?
Yeah, because I'm seeing it pop up. The stuff that we talk about a week later, it turns up in other press outlets.
Well, I guess people were desperate for content.
I think we're ahead of the curve, mate.
Oh, well, I would like to think so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, listeners of the potty, you hear it all first.
Yeah,
so make sure you come to us first.
The finest Super Rugby minds in the
we break
in
the news. Everyone else uses what we say and puts it into boring chat about the rugby.
Great. I think we're meant to be in the news this week, aren't we? Also, too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, look out for it.
Round 10, we've got Crusaders Blues down in Christchurch. It'll probably see the Blues.
Crusaders
get put to
Blues.
The sword, yeah. Crusaders Blues. That's what I've got.
Is it?
Yeah. Drua play the Waratahs in Fiji, so hopefully that'll be a win for the Waratahs. I mean, that's what you kind of want, I think.
Well, it would be lovely.
Moana Brumbies in Pukekohe.
Really?
Mate, you're looking at me like I'm mad.
Oh, no, you're right. That's weird.
Why?
I don't know why I doubted you. Sorry.
So Moana's playing at home in Pukekohe.
Yeah, which is lovely. And the Brumbies, the way the Brumbies were playing last night, I don't know. Moana, well, that's going to be interesting. Do I want to pick Brumbies?
Oh, you want to go Brumbies?
Yep.
Sorry. We should do picks for the other ones. Yeah. What about the Drua Waratahs?
Crusaders will beat the Blues.
Yeah.
The Waratahs will beat the Drua.
Come on. It's Fiji, mate. Chiefs Highlanders at FMG?
The Chiefs will beat the Highlanders.
Yeah.
The Force Hurricanes?
Force Hurricanes in Perth.
Hurricanes will beat the Force.
Mate, what are you going to say about the Force?
I don't care. Susanna will probably score another try. But other than that, the Hurricanes will run rampant.
Otherwise, I get 10 grand.
No, you get $10. Mate, we settled on $10.
It's whoever's closest.
Mate, we settled on $10.
We didn't settle on $10.
Yes, I pitched a massage. You said, ooh, no.
Yeah, ooh, no, I don't want a massage from you. 10 grand, please.
God. Thank you for listening.
It's another episode of Super Smack.
If you like what we're doing, if you like what you're doing, keep listening. If you don't like it, I guess just go and do something else. But get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Get on our socials. Give us a follow. Tell your friends. And if you love Super Rugby, do yourself a favour and keep on listening. We're here every week.
Hooray!
Yep.
Love you, Bodie.